Again, this is DBeaver Community. We're going to talk mainly about the SQL Editor and AI updates. Thankfully, as an SQL product, most of the questions we get in the trouble ticket areas are still from the SQL area. So you're still using DBeaver as an SQL tool. So what have we been up to? Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll show you a glimpse of that later. But mainly, we're talking today about some of the most useful things, the changes in the SQL editor and the AI improvements that ship between 26.0.1, which was way back in March, and the recent 26.1 release, which is 10 days ago. Once again, we'll have a Q&A at the end. I'll be trying to monitor the chat as we go. So once again, if you have a question, please put it in the chat. And once again, don't be shy and don't wait. If you haven't played with DBeaver before, the enterprise version is our cost product, but the community version is free and open source. And when you first bring it up, one of the things you can do is install a test database that's SQLite. Thank you, Dr. Richard Hipp, for that. But if you're using other databases, this is what we support. This is a screenshot fresh this morning from my Community Edition 26.1. As you can see, we have all sorts of databases out there. Here are the relational ones. And by the way, if you mouse over, they'll tell you what you're using currently. Okay. So on to the meat of the talk. What is new? What is 26.1 giving you? Well, both the @AI command, the SQL editor, and the AI assistant pop-up now work with codex models served through GitHub Copilot. Once you're connected to Copilot, the codex models show up in the model picker alongside other supported models. And a great feature is that there's a refresh button out there so that as these things change, you don't have to reload DBeaver. They just auto-magically appear. So why is that of interest to you? Well, they're beginning to write these models that are specifically tuned for handling code. So the SQL generation stays closer to what you actually want. It's still early days. We're not sure how exactly well they're doing. A little bit of testing shows that it is very good. So if you are really using AI on your SQL, you'll find this very handy. So if you have a GitHub Copilot subscription and you use it for SQL DBeaver, there's no separate API key that's needed for Codex. It's all there. So once you're into GitHub Copilot, it's all there for you. Now, I'm going to do a quick demo, and it's kind of an interesting one. But I want to show you first what the Codex looks like when you pull it up, and then we'll go right to a demo. You open up the Windows properties and come down to engines. And once again, if you're on GitHub Copilot, create your token. It gets copied into here. And as you can see, we have everything from Cloud Opus, Haiku, Opus, Sonnet, Sonnet Pro. And then way down here, we have the Codex. So by the way, if you're trying this out, please let me know how it works, if the Codex is actually writing better SQL for you or not. We love the feedback. So excuse me while I change my sharing. And here we go. So this is, let me show you. This is 26.1.0, came out on the 1st of June. If you haven't played with our AI tooling or experimented with it, I should say, one of the ways you can have the LLM do the work for you is preface something in the SQL console with @AI. And here we're going to ask in the MySQL World database that's been used for over 30 years now for documentation, demos, everything else in the MySQL World. And we're going to say, what are the most popular languages in the city table where the district is Texas? And then we're going to have it list by city. And send it off. you notice it sends the request off and it runs, and boom, there's the answer. As you can see, Abilene, English is 86.2, down to Spanish, French, German, and Chinese, and Italian. I'm kind of surprised Italian is that high for Abilene. So let me go back to so very easy to get to the latest and greatest AI engines. Let's see. We have a hi there from Mauro Alfredo Martinez Limon to everybody. Hi there to you. Okay, let's go on. Trim leading and trailing spaces. I don't know how many of you copy your SQL back and forth between DBeaver and various things you're doing for documentation or other applications. Now, there are new options to trim leading or trailing spaces in the selected test across the whole script. That makes neatening things up a lot easier. So once you have something up in the SQL editor where you have extra white space left over from previous edits, it will take care of that for you. Also, canceled queries are no longer marked as invalid. This was something that was really worrying a lot of folks when they saw this. When you were running a query and you cancel it, it came back as, oh, this isn't great. So you don't have to get red squiggles or the false invalid query feedback after you hit stop. It actually cleans that up a lot more nicely. Let me change my sharing back. So have this recursive query. And if I run it, as you can see, it's going to go out there and count to a very high number. And if I go to run this, it's going to take all day chewing up cycles. If you're playing with AI, it's going to be chewing up tokens. If you hit cancel, now it comes back and says there's no data returned from the query, which is a lot nicer than saying, oh my God, it's invalid. So let's skip ahead a slide here. If you want to give this a try, here's that recursive common table expression. Once again, you see that we're doing a recursive union with a whole bunch of numbers. This could run for a very long time and chew up cycles you probably don't want to chew up. Something else we did is we added a format option to the generate SQL dialog. So generated statements come out cleanly formatted. This is probably a matter of personal preference for you, depending on how you like things, tabbed or spaced or however you want it. This cleans up a lot of ability. And also, you now have the ability to take that and save it into a file for later use. So once again, let's copy paste between DBeaver and external editors. We're preparing migration scripts, seed data, or DDL snapshots. And once again, once you get the code the way you want it, save it in a readable file, and you can use it. So I'm going to do a quick little demo here. As you can see, I wrote down the steps here because it is very handy. So, for instance, I'm going to take the city table from, once again, the MySQL World Database, generate SQL down to data description language, or DDL. And as you can see, the code to create a table is presented to us in this format. This is with format SQL turned on. If you turn it off, it's a little different. If you're, I know a lot of us are fussy about the way our code looks and how you want to store it. And then we can easily save the file, put in a file name, and we can recall it later for use. Let me go back to the presentation. Also, one of the questions I get at conferences is why does DBeaver release so often? Well, the main motivating factor in that is that the databases are always changing underneath us. Uh, it's amazing how often these things change on a regular basis, and we have to keep up with it to make sure that you have the latest and greatest. As you can see, um, lots of changes in Postgres. Snowflake had a new driver. SQL server, we had a problem with the connecting to a database after a Java update. Once again, all the popular databases put out new versions and updates. So you can see BigQuery, ClickHouse, MySQL, Redshift, XSO, and StarRocks. As their product updates, we have to keep pace with it. Now let me go out there and see if we have anything else in the chat. But as your databases change, we keep pace. By the way, if you ever find something that we haven't caught on to, please open a trouble ticket just to make sure that we're aware of it. And one of the great things about our community is they let us know when things are wrong or when things are broken or when there's updates. And many of you actually supply the updates, which is really handy. We want to give you a big thank you for contributing. And we always welcome new contributors. And once again, if you have questions here, put them in here. If not, open up a trouble ticket or catch us through social media and give us your information or your question. Now, this has been a rather short webinar for us, and I've only kind of scratched the surface of some of the improvements in 26.1. If you really want to see the entire list of what's been changed, please take a look at the release notes for DBeaver 26.1. As you can see that we release on a regular 3-month cycle, and we are keeping track with what's going on with the products. So here we're going to go into the wrap up, and we want to thank you first of all for attending, and for those who watch the recorded version, please let us know. And we have another question from Maro. How can I contribute to the project? I'm a data analyst with experience in SQL and Python. Well, DBeaver is written in Java. If you are a Java coder, you'll really love it. If you're looking for other programming languages, it always helps to have you come and use DBeaver as your data accessing tool and let us know what's going on. If you can find some handy scripts, it's always nice to be able to publish those probably under your own GitHub since they're not part of the main project. But keep plugging away. And if you find something interesting, please share it out on our Reddit group or any other social media. And let us know. Okay, so once again, this is recorded. An email with a link will be sent to everyone who registered, and I'm sure it'll be out on YouTube very shortly. And Anna has put out the links for X, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Reddit. And let's go on. Find us on the socials. We're on all the popular socials. If you have a direct question for me, I'm easy to find out there on any of these. Reddit is something that I monitor on a regular basis. So, please go out to r/DBeaver. And we have this handy code over here. So, quick wrap up, Codex models via Copilot. And that hopefully will give us all much better SQL being generated. Cleaner SQL editor behavior, and that will help us when we copy stuff between scripts and other programs. And I'd like to say that we are trending to always have steady improvements in the day-to-day SQL editor experience. That's the core use of the product. And we keep adding more and more AI engine support. And if you're interested in some of the more advanced stuff that we have in the enterprise versions, like MCP support and all that, please take a look at that. Once again, for the pro versions, if you want to try it for 2 weeks, try it for free. We'll give you a 2-week license. So if you want to try Lite and then Enterprise Edition, 2 weeks there, 2 weeks there, you'll get it to experience what's going on. But once again, we do appreciate you using the
Dave,
edition.
I think you have another question about AI with DBeaver.
What about AI with DBeaver? How do I use AI in my query and Python used to create the machine language? Let me go back to here. One of the great things about DBeaver is its flexibility. So you can ask it to create the list all the without having to go out and look at the schemas and figure out what to link. We can ask the AI to write the code for us. We can ask it to modify queries, update queries, examine a query that we don't understand and tell us how it's going and what it does, or a table. So if you have a table, you're not sure how it links to other tables, or an entire schema you don't understand how it hooks together, you can ask AI how to do that. Let me bring up the AI assistant. So I'm asking the AI assistant to use the current schema. How do these to each other? And we ask the LLM to take a look at the schemas and give us some information. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing the output. Where did it hide? Here we go. Okay, let me scoot this over. And so I asked, how the tables relate to each other. It says country and city. The city table has a code column, which links to the country code column in the city table. And similar thing for the country and country language. It tells us the relationship. And it gives us a summary of how what's in the table and how they link. It really can make life a lot easier for you if you don't have the time to actually dig through the schemas and figure out where all the keys point. Okay, I have another question from Guy Giles. Can that AI function analyze the query and optimize it if possible on top of explaining SQLs? It gets a little tricky. It's one of those things. I've been playing with it and I'm not really happy with it. It's more a case of the AI knowing the basics. Oh, it doesn't have an index. Oh, there's a function in the where clause. It does the simple things like that and can analyze it. It's the next step where, is the data type the right size? Is it the right type of index? If you're in Postgres and you're running a B tree and it should probably be a gem. The AIs usually don't have enough smarts right now to be able to pull up that. Okay, hopefully, Guy, that answers your question. I'm trying to use, but look, Copilot request failed. Model Claude Haiku 45 does not support response API. I'm not a Copilot expert or an LLM expert, so we'd have to go hunting on that, Mario. I'm not quite sure, or Maro,
I think
how that's going.
Haiku is also like a very basic model, so it might need to be a different model.
Yeah. That's one of the problems we're having because these models are all trained on differently, and some of them are a lot smarter than other ones, and other ones are brilliant in one area but fall down in others. Do we have any other questions or anyone want an example of something? Okay, let me go back to the. So once again, you see that we've, in the past 3 months, added a lot of functionality. Let's see, I'm in version 26.1, but the engine drop-down only has OpenAI and GitHub Copilot. Do I remember exactly? You had Gemini in the drop-down as well. How would I get that? Let me let's see, Windows Preferences, AI, Engines. I think for the Community Edition, we've only had Copilot and OpenAI, where the uh, enterprise version has a lot more Olama and and several others. Sorry
It
about
also
that.
has Gemini in the paid and the DBeaver Pro
Yeah.
version. Maybe someone was using a trial,
Yeah,
but the Pro has a lot more options
yeah.
for the LLMs to connect to.
Thank you, Shannon. Okay, and thank you for attending. Once again, if you have any questions, we'll be here for another few moments. And once again, don't be shy. We want to get to your questions. And if you are shy, once again, you saw our social media. Very shortly, you'll get the link where you can actually see the video. And thank you for using the uh, the DBeaver products. And thank you for attending this. And Daniel, Gemini is only available in the commercial products. That's from Ian, one of our wonderful engineers. So thank you, everyone, and have a great day. And let us know if you have any questions.